Hey, what's up, fam? It's Pastor Krisha. Church has left the building. You know what we say, church anytime, anywhere, any day. Thank you for joining the Epic Nation family today. Listen. We're about to dive into service, but to get ready for service, this is what I want you to do. I want you to find a quiet space in your house, sit down, set up your TV, set up your phone, set up your laptop so that you can enjoy service. Make sure you remove all the distractions and that you're ready to tune in today. But I'm going to tell you how you can tune in and how you can get the most out of service today. First off, I need you to drop in the comments below where you're joining us from. Just say hi. Come on. Don't be rude. Say hi in the comments below. Let us know what city, what state, or even what country you're joining us from. Then the next thing I need you to do is to go ahead and share this out right now on your platform because today it's about to be good. We've been in the series Heaven's Best. Listen, last week Pastor Marcus took us through It's Never Not Enough. So we know scarcity is not an option. We're not running out, and we know that heaven has an unlimited supply that we could tap into. But I want to hand you over to my girl E, who's going to tell you how you can stay connected and get the most out of today's service. E?
What's up, Epic Nation? This is Elaine. I just wanted to let you guys know that we are so excited that you're with us, that you're connected, and we want to ask you something. I know you know people. I know people, you know people, we know people that know people. Anyway, so what we want you to do is we're going to ask you to connect four. Y'all remember that game, Connect Four? Anyway, what we want you to do for the Epic Nation is to help us connect with four people that you know. Four people out of your network that know that they need something. They probably need a word from God. They're probably sitting at home wondering what are they going to do. They need a word from God. So we want you to become that person that connects them to the Epic Nation so they receive what they need. So right now, what you're going to do is you're going to tag them or you're going to send them a message. You're going to connect them to a WhatsApp group chat or connect them to our group on Facebook and connect four people to the Epic Nation. So that's one of the things that we want you to do. Number two, what I want you to do right now is to pull out your phone. I'm going to do it with you. Pull out your phone, set it on camera, and take a selfie. Go on. Yeah. Take a selfie. I know you know how to do that. I've seen your Facebook profile, and I know you know how to take selfies. So right now, what I want you to do is take a selfie. I'm going to show you mine. Boom, I just took a selfie. And hashtag it, we are epic. We're going to go ahead and market epic, market the Epic Nation, and make sure that the people can connect with us and they can reach out to us, especially in these times that they really need a connection to us. So I'm going to pass it on right now. And I know that Pastor Marcus is going to have an amazing message. And I got my notes and I'm ready to take notes and I can't wait. I'll see you soon.
Oh Jesus, you've never lost a battle. So faithful, so faithful. Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed me yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won, for you have never failed me yet. Oh, you promised still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never failed me yet. Oh, never, never. So faithful, God. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. Seen you move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I see you do it again. Oh, 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 oh. Again, again, again. Oh, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never failed me yet. You never will, Lord. Never, never. Faithful's who you are.
I don't know about you guys, but I had that worship blasting in my house. I was singing out loud. I was lifting my hands. I know my neighbors probably want to know what's going on, but I just want them to know church anytime, anywhere, any day, any place, and it's in my house today. So I hope you guys worshiped with us. Let me see those hands lifted emojis in the comments below if you were worshiping with us. Listen, I'm so ready to hear the word of God. I'm so ready for what Pastor Marcus is about to drop. Remember, we are in our series Heaven's Best, and Pastor said he's not going to stop until we see Heaven's Best manifested in our lives, in every single person attached to the Epic Nation family. So what I want you to do right now is to prepare yourself, get your notes, be ready, and just tap in and get everything that Pastor's about to teach today. I'm not going to give his title. I'm going to let him do all of that, but I want to hand it over right now to Pastor Marcus. PM, it's on you. Let's go.
What's up, family? Listen to me. I'm excited once again. I'm in my living room, literally sitting on my couch. And the thing I'm most excited about is we get to visit each other living room to living room. I hope you enjoy worship. I hope you enjoy everything so far. How amazing is it to have people worship together around the world? We're always trying to find new and innovative ways to be creative in our worship experience, because it's not about physically where you are. The building where the church meets, but the building is not the church. So wherever you are, I need you to do me one favor. I need you to get your heart right, get your heart ready, and literally, everyone loves to say we are the church until it's time to put yourself in position to be the church. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to bring silence to wherever you are. Like, you should be frying chicken, cooking collard greens. You should be sitting down, grab an iPad, grab a cell phone, whatever you need to be able to get the most out of this word. I say it. Don't worry about typing right now. Say it with me. Come on. I'm in the right place at the right time. Come on. Your whole family should be saying it. You can be louder. Let your neighbors knock on the door and say, keep it down over there. I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, meeting the right people, saying the right words. What God wants, I want. What God thinks, I think. His best is released over my life starting now. in Jesus' name. Listen, if you declare that and believe it, I want you to now type in the comments, I need exclamation points. That just lets me know you're raising your voice. When you're doing hearts, it's like tapping your neighbor. So let me teach you the rules. Hearts is like tapping your neighbor. Exclamation points. What I like to say whenever there's a point you can feel, I normally like to say, holler back at your boy and say, I feel that. So if you feel like typing all of that, you can say, I feel that. But if not, just give me exclamation points and hearts. I need to feel the energy, the entire message, okay? This is part 4 of Heaven's Best, part 4. Let's get into it. I got something to share with you today. John chapter 9. John chapter 9. And I know last week we were in Mark chapter number 8. And I jumped versions from New Living Translation. We were in God's Word. But we back with the Ghetto Gospel Translation, New Living Translation. John chapter 9, verse number 1. I'm probably going to read quite a few verses. Then I'm going to go back and tell you where my subject comes from, okay? Okay? Listen to me. Y'all don't do me like that. I want you to be typing in them comments over and over and over again, just like if we were in person, okay? So I need to come. Let me ask this. Have you shared this with anybody? Have you had somebody yet? I'm going to let you do that before I say this. Why would you be a part of something and enjoy something that you don't help somebody else to enjoy? You're watching your favorite show. Or remember when you were on IG Live watching the different people battle, you would send it to your girl, check this out. I want you to connect 4 people right now. Like tag 4 people. Tag 4 people. Get them here. Start a watch party. Like right now, tag them. Start a watch party. Let's get the word out. This is your way of evangelism by simply clicking a button and tagging a friend. Who do you know right now that should be watching this? Come on. Tell your friend, girl, come on. Tag. Pull your phone out. Tag. When you're done tagging, I need you to type done. Type done. Tag somebody, share it, and type done. So I'll wait. When I know you're done, okay. All right. I see one person said done. Okay. Few people done. Come on, everybody, share this. Share this with someone. Done. Okay. Perfect. John chapter 9, New Living Translation. As Jesus was walking alone, he saw a man who had been blind from birth. Rabbi, his disciples asked him, why was the man born blind? Was it because of his own sins or his parents' sins? Is this generational? Is it hereditary? I love that. Verse 3, this happened so the power of God could be seen in him. Verse 4, we must quickly carry out the task assigned us by the one who sent us. The night is coming, and then no one can work. But while I'm here in the world, I am the light of the world. Oh, now Jesus did something so nasty right here. Then he spit on the ground, made a mud pot with saliva. Patted it all together. Said, come here, boy. Put it all in his eyes. That's nasty, Jesus. Okay, it's nasty. Put it all in his eyes. And what did Jesus do next? Verse 7. He told him, go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam. Siloam means sent. Pay attention to that. So the man went and washed and came back singing. Verse 8, we're done after this. His neighbors and others who knew him as a blind beggar asked each other, isn't this the man who used to sit in bed? Some said he was, and others said, no, he just looks like him. He don't even look the same. This can't be him. Let's go back up to verse 2. John chapter 9. If you got a Bible, some of y'all old school, you got like a physical Bible in your hand right now. You super old school, okay? Old school sack. Well, lick your finger. No, don't lick your finger. Coronavirus. Don't lick your finger. Turn your page. Right now, if you're in your iPad, swipe your finger up. John chapter 9. Read this. I want you to see this. Jesus is walking. He sees a man who's blind. That's verse 1. Verse 2. His disciples asked, why is the man blind? Was it his fault or his parents' fault? I want to preach using it as a subject. Lord, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, God, I know there's a lot going on right now. If you're going to do one thing for me right now, just make this make sense for me. I'm unclear. I'm uncertain. Make it make sense. Let's pray. Father, it's because of you that we're here today. In no other circumstance will we log in online to hear the word unless we were passionate about you. So out of our passion for you, let me hear something. God, I hear the voice of your people, no matter where they are, whether they're tuning in from California, Colombia, Cambodia, whether they're in Trinidad, or whether they're in Detroit. God, let your presence be in their living room, in their car, or wherever they find themselves, in their office, in their kitchen, if they're watching live or watching the replay. Give them something. God, speak through me and use me as a vessel to minister to your people. In Jesus' name, make it make sense. So check this out, everybody. So here's what happened. I was on the phone yesterday with a friend, and I was asking, so how's your daughter doing? She said, oh, my daughter's doing well, but I'm really concerned about her. I said, why, what's going on? She said, well, her eyesight has been kind of off. I said, what do you mean eyesight's off? She said, well, I took her to the optometrist to get her eyes checked because it seems like her eyes are watering. She's having a hard time seeing. So I said, well, I wear glasses, so maybe I need to get my daughter some glasses. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how did it go? She said, well, it's crazy because the doctor said there's nothing wrong with her eyes. They ran tests. They checked her eyes. They checked behind it. They did a bunch of them. I'm like, no, something's she was like, hey, something's got to be wrong. She was like, no, the doctor said, hey, we've been seeing a lot of cases like this where there's nothing wrong with her eyes. With children and adults, this happens. Here's what's going on. Because most people are spending so much time on their devices, on their cell phones, laptops, computers, looking close, it is hurting the muscle that allows them to see far. I'll say it again. There are so much time looking close, it's hurting the muscle in their eyes and their ability to see far. She said all she has to do is redirect her focus, and the muscle will strengthen, and she'll be able to see far. Man, listen, I hung up in her face and said, I can't wait to tell the Epic Nation this on Sunday. I think that many of us are spending way too much time looking close. We don't realize that we are living in time but serving a God that lives in eternity. That we're spending so much time looking so close at the things in front of us. I can see my bills. I can see what I'm going through, but I cannot see what God is doing for me. See, I'm well aware of what I have and who I am and where I am, but I'm so unaware of what God is doing. The Bible tells me, I feel like preaching. I was raising my voice that you wasn't I? It's okay. Let's go there. The Bible tells me this. It says we know not what to pray for as we ought. That means I don't even know what God is doing, but the Spirit itself helps us in our weakness, infirmity. It begins to discern the mind of God and pray for me. How many of you are spending your time just like the doctor said, looking at everything so close that you can't see nothing else? You ever had something so in plain sight, like it's so close to you, you get a better view the higher you go. And I'm telling you that the muscle you got to be developing right now is the muscle that you allow yourself the ability to see through the lens of God, that he makes it make sense when you can shift your perspective. The doctor said you need a perspective shift, that your perspective has been impacted by looking at everything close. So this is what the doctor said, the whole world's doing this. That their perspective on life is impacted because they're looking at everything too close. Could it be possible that if you took a step back from some things, it's not as bad as you thought it was? You ever had to call and apologize to somebody because you're like, I flipped out. It wasn't even that serious. It wasn't even that serious. Okay, my brothers, my sisters, my friends, my Facebook pile, let's get into the text. Let's get into it. What does the text tell us? Let's get into it. When we move into the text today, and I just want to teach you, I want to teach you something. We're moving to the text today. Something crazy pops off because we see Jesus. Now, before I can get into this, I got to explain to you what has been my goal. Like, let me let you into my mind. What's the goal that I've been after with these messages? Last week, we talked from Mark chapter number 8, when Jesus fed the 4,000, not the 5,000. He had 7 loaves of bread and a few small fish, and he fed 4,000. This week, it's a little different. This week, we are now talking about this man who's blind, but what is my mission in both messages? Come here, pay attention. I need you to hear this. Pay attention. Come here. So here's what we're trying to find out. My goal last week was to show you, what does Jesus do when he does not have enough? I'm trying to go through the Bible and find times where Jesus is hanging out with his homeboys, aka disciples. What happens What is his response while he was in the earth? Because what Jesus' response in the earth is should be our response. So I'm looking at him like a man and saying, okay, God, I don't know how to navigate the season that I'm in. Many of you are saying, like, I don't know how to navigate this. I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do now. I'm just stuck. And I'm frustrated being stuck. So we've been looking at the Bible in this Heaven's Best series to say, okay, God, how do I become my best to receive heaven's best? And I want to show you, last week I showed you the 7 loaves and a few small fish is Jesus's paycheck. Let me do it that way. It's Jesus' paycheck. The 4,000 people is Jesus's bills. What does Jesus do when the bills are more than what my check is? Are you getting me now? That the 7 loaves is his income. The 4,000 people is the bills. How does Jesus respond to not enough in the earth? And I walk you through 7 things. Y'all got to go back and watch that message, but let me give you one. One of the things he did, and this is going to tie into this week, because I want you to see the trajectory of my thought. What does Jesus do in the earth in each scenario? This week, I'm going to teach you another scenario. What is Jesus doing? Last week, here we go. When Jesus didn't have enough in the earth, first thing he did was he took it and partnered it with God. The Bible says that he took it and he lifted it up to God. But before he lifted it up to partner with heaven, he got the earth in order. Told the people, sit down, groups of 50s and 100. Like before I ask God to partner with my mess, before I ask heaven for a miracle, let me clean up my mess in the earth. So he sat the people down, getting his life, getting his mindset, getting his finance in order. Before, look, okay. Somebody like, bro, you've been in the Bible for a minute. What about me? What about me? I got you covered. I'm telling you to follow the pattern of Jesus. Look at your life and say, what's out of order? Do I sleep too late? How's my eating? How's my health? How's my mindset? Am I reading? Am I reading more captions and comments than I'm reading the Bible? Am I reading more captions and comments and blog sites than I'm reading books? Let me get my mind in order. Am I spending more time gossiping than I'm spending sharing the gospel? Let me get my mouth in order. Am I spending more time listening to the gossip of my friends than I am listening to some inspirational, motivational, encouraging, or educational? I got to get my ears in order. Get your world, get the earth that you live in order before you partner with God. So Jesus, I'm still in last week. This is crazy. Did you miss last week? You got to go back and watch that. So Jesus took the 7 loaves and 2 small fish, and he gets the earth in order, lifts it up, partners with heaven, because that's the first thing you do when you don't have enough. Partner what you have with God. We do that by giving, sowing, reaping. I take what I have, partner with God, and then he collaborates in the earth. And y'all know the story. He blesses it, breaks it, and gives away what's not enough. And it is in the giving away of what's not enough that God now lets heaven intervene, because God starts his provision. The engine of God's blessing starts with giving things away. Okay. I clap for myself right there. That was good. That was really, really good. The engine of God's blessing starts with giving things away. So that was 7 things. I didn't even deal with all of them. 7 things that we see Jesus does when the supply is more than, when the demand is more than the supply, when the bills are more than the paycheck. But this week, the text is phenomenal. This week, we got a whole other story in John chapter 9, because I'm trying to see something different. I'm not trying to see what Jesus does when he don't have enough. Come here. I got to tell you here's my point for this week's message. I'm trying to see, how does Jesus handle stupid questions? How does he handle somebody asking me something that I don't have the answer for? How do I handle my internal questions and my external questions? People around here asking me, so what you going to do now that you lost your job? What are you going to do now that coronavirus is going on? What are you going to do about relationship? What are you going to do about church? When they're asking you questions you don't have the answer to. How does Jesus answer questions? That's a bad question. I got to see this. Are y'all ready to see this in the text? Jesus, how do you manage to handle this? I got people asking me things that I can't answer right now. John chapter number 1, as Jesus was walking along, he saw a man who had been blind from his birth. Jesus peeped man. Jesus saw the man, although the man couldn't see him. That's my first point. How amazing is it that we serve a God that when we were blind to our life, to to our sins. He saw us even when we couldn't see him. The man represents a part of our life where we didn't always think about you a couple of years ago. You were probably just waking up from being drunk. You wasn't online watching somebody. You weren't mature enough to go to church, let alone watch church online. Only thing you was looking at on your computer was pictures in your phone or something else. Look at how you've grown from being the blind man that Jesus saw to being the man who sees Jesus. Come here, come here, come here. What about your life has changed? That your senses have woke up. Taste and see that the Lord is good. That we walk by faith and not by sight. The Bible said that faith comes by hearing, that all of your senses are starting to wake up to God, that the man represents somebody who senses. Makes my message make it make sense. That the man represents somebody who's born into sin. It's not about his eyesight. It's about the inability to see the kingdom of God, the inability to see heaven. How many of you have lived your life and you've never seen what is God's preferred future for you? Like, how does God view you? You've been born blind, born to your superpower, your potential. You're born blind, listen, you put yourself on sale. You were born blind. You think that the only way you're somebody is if you have somebody. You were born blind. You think that your only claim to fame is how much money you have, the car you drive. 3 numbers known as a credit score are the amount printed on a paycheck. But how many of you know you were born blind into a society that tells you you got to have something to be somebody? I'm telling you, you were born blind. You don't see yourself just right. Don't you put yourself on sale because you never knew your worth, because you were born blind, born unable to see yourself. And what makes it worse than not being able to see me is not being able to see God. Because when I see him, he shows me me. He's showing me all that he's got for me. And I'm saying that there is something that heaven has for you that far exceeds what you're seeing now. A man who was born blind from birth. So I was born into a family that didn't see me. I got to stop right there. I got to pause right there and say, how many of you know that you went through bad breakups, bad relationships? Let me tell you what it sounds like. Like somebody right now, even if you have not gone through it, you about to break up with somebody right now. You go, girl, what happened with you and Reggie? Girl, I had to break up with him. Why? He blind. What you mean he blind? He can't see me. He think that I'm a girlfriend when I'm a wife. He don't see me. He was born blind. Girl, my eyes have finally, bro, you're gonna be like, man, listen, I had to quit that job. Why you quit, bro? Everybody at the company blind. What you mean? I'm a boss and they think that I'm an employee. I'm trying to tell you that it is time for you to wake up and see yourself. And the people that are born blind, is your job to communicate, I'm not who I used to be. I need exclamation points right now. Type in there. Somebody say, I feel that. Listen, I feel that. I feel that. If this is something you could feel, because you're tired of people missing you, that they see you as something that you're not, that they see you as what you used to be. You ain't that person no more. Listen, I'm not the one that you can talk to like that no more. I'm not the one that you can look at. Listen, all your nice, nasty comments, keep them to yourself. Some of you used to hold on to grudges because you were too insecure to speak your mind and tell people how you really felt. But you ain't blind no more. You see yourself better than that. You don't deserve to be a punching bag. I see myself. God, I want to preach in this living room. I see myself differently. I used to be the one who would hold on to anger, resentment. I would take my frustrations to God and smile in people's face. When God never told me that I got to keep my mouth silent, it's okay for me to speak up and tell people how I feel. I'm born. See, I told y'all the text be speaking to me. It just be talking to me. The man was born blind, but Jesus saw him. Oh, God, I thank you for your word. And the disciples, here we go, asked a stupid question. I need somebody again to just type in the comments right now. I see myself. I felt something on that. Type, I see myself. I see myself. Come on, type it. I see myself. Somebody's eyes is opening. Father, I thank you that your people's eyes are opening. I need your perspective is changing. You see yourself in a different situation. You see yourself coming out of this quarantine, this coronavirus better than you've ever been. Somebody type, I see myself. I see myself. I see myself. I see myself. God, the mirror effect, that I'm seeing me the way God sees me. Listen to me. Virtual high fives to everybody. Virtual high fives to everybody. I see myself. I see myself. I see myself. Text says, verse 2. I'm trying to move past verse 1. Verse 2 says, his disciples asked him, why was this man born blind? Who sinned? Disciples asked the man, hey, Jesus, who sinned? They trying to figure this whole thing out. Master, who sinned? This is what they asked him. Who sinned, this man or his parents? I got to unpack this. Please, everybody, whatever you got going on in your house right now, like, don't play on your phone, don't do nothing. Listen, this is the most important parts of the message. I'll give you a second. Pay attention right now. Like, whatever's going on around you, if you got music going on and me playing on your TV, turn it off. Right now, come here, lean in. This is church we have it right now. Instead of waiting on Paul to write a letter like in the Bible, we get streamed into your living room. Come here. The disciples asked, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he will be born blind? It's a stupid question. Humanity is asking a question to Jesus. And let me say, what they're really asking is, Master or Jesus, whose fault is it? At the core of their question is a bad question. They're asking, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? People who live, here's my point, people who live their life with a perspective of trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong will never be happy. Because as long as you need somebody to be wrong for you to embrace your own internal resolve, you'll forever be unhappy. As long as you need to cast people in the category, the question is such a bad question. Let me say this. The question is such a bad question that they would have never come to a proper conclusion. It's such a bad question. Here's why it's a bad question. Because the questions you ask determine the answers you receive. Let me say it again. The questions you ask determine the answers you come up with. Let me say it that way. Back up, Marcus. Slow down. The questions you ask determine the answers you come up with. You got that? The answers you come up with determine the things you see and the things that you say. Oh, God. And the things you see and the things you say determine the life you live. Back it up like Juvenile for the 99 and 2000. Here we go. The questions you ask determine the answers you come up with. So if all you're looking to see is who's wrong and who's right, that's the way you see the world. So the questions you ask determine the answers you come up with. The answers you come up with determine what you see and what you say. So you see people in a particular light. All men are dogs, all girls are this. Ain't nobody hiring, ain't nobody got no money, because the questions you ask determine the answers you come up with. And becomes the words you say and the things you see. But the things you see and the things you say become the life you live. So you're living a life of bad questions. The answers that you come up with are just bad questions. Okay, make it make sense. They're asking, whose fault is it? Preach, Marcus. I need preach on the internet on today. Please don't let the Wi-Fi or the internet connection be unstable. Come here. The politicians are asking, whose fault is it? Is it the Democrats? Is it the Republicans? Is it Donald Trump? Is it Barack Obama? Is this leftover? Is it China? Is it Russia? Is it Asia? Whose fault is it, this coronavirus? Did we respond too fast, respond too slow? Is it China's fault? Whose fault is it? It's a bad question. It's a bad question. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Because what we're seeing are the symptoms of an infrastructure that was flawed, a healthcare clearance at the border. Oh, God. And we're asking questions about the quarantine of coronavirus, but the quarantine of those who were separated from their families at the gate. We're asking bad questions. We're asking questions about how do we get more tests, but those are symptoms, but we're not asking about the infrastructure of healthcare. We're asking bad questions. We're asking, what about the economy? How's it going to get back better? But we're asking bad questions because essential workers were already paid bad. Oh, my God. Now we're seeing the whole economy shift because those who are of wealth and those who everybody's in the same position. Those who are wealthy, the middle class, the upper class, and the lower class, all are quarantined in the same place. But we're asking questions, how do we get the economy back? But the economy was already in a bad place for those who were struggling. God, I need your help. Here's here's what I need you to know. Holler back at your boy right now. If you were going through a bad breakup or struggling, being quarantined, you are still dealing with the same issues. So the question of coronavirus does not change the real issue. I was already struggling. If I was already going through things with my family, if I was already in a bad situation, I was already living paycheck to paycheck, me asking about the economy is a bad question. The church is asking a bad question. Should we meet? Should we not meet? Should we gather? Should it be less than 10 people? Should we follow the order to not gather? Come on, come here, come here. They're not telling you to not have church. They're just saying be wise about putting people in rooms and being sick. Whose fault is it? Is it the church's fault? Because is it a lack of faith if I close the doors? Do I have faith if I leave the doors open? Whose fault is it? The state, there's still states that have not did a stay-at-home order, and they're asking, whose fault is it that we haven't flattened the curve? Yo, getting the message. I see a shotgun effect. I'm a pastor. I got to deal with issues about you. I got to deal with issues that are broad topics. I got to put it all in this message. Whose fault is it? The disciples are asking, Lord, make it make sense. Whose fault is it? And if the questions I ask determine the answers I come up with, then when I ask the question of how do we solve the problem of coronavirus, then the answer I come up with is how we flatten the curve. But I still don't solve the problem of economic discrepancies between the different classes. I still don't solve the problem between the 1% and the 99. I still don't solve the problem of people being unpaid and overworked. I mean, come here, somebody. There are many of you that America has symptoms of everything, and we're asking bad questions. We are oversexed and undercommitted. I put the kids to bed. I got to talk real now. This is epic. Ghetto gospel for you. We are oversexed country and undercommitted country. We're having more sex but less marriages. We are talking about symptoms now. Relationship issues are at place. Come on. People are working more hours but making less money. That their bills are going up but time is going down. The family structure is moved. So whose fault is it? Is it the government? We got more entertainment and less education. People can't read a book for 10 minutes but can stroll social media for 3 hours. Whose fault is it? And we blame social media. Okay, all right. I sound like an old Baptist preacher. Let me get off my soapbox. But I need to give you something you can feel. To tell you whose fault it is, we're asking bad questions and coming to bad answers, saying bad words, saying bad things, and living bad lives. Because the questions we're asking is wrong. The questions we got to be asking ourselves is, God, what's your preferred future for the life I'm living? God, how do you see it? Not how do I see it? We're asking bad questions. And Jesus' response, we in verse 3 now. Verse 3, that was verse 1 and 2 I gave you. Man born blind in verse number 1. Bad questions in verse number 2. Master, who sinned? Let me tell you what the disciples are doing. They are over-spiritualizing life's reality. Good God, I wish I could see you. I wish I could see you right now. They are over-spiritualizing things that are just a part of life. Is it, God, am I going through this because I'm in sin? No, life happens. Everything is not spiritual, but some things are spiritual. Everything is not a money thing. Some things are a spiritual thing, and some things that are spiritual are, let me say it this way. Some things in your life are spiritual problems. Some things are natural problems. If you pervert the two and try to answer spiritual questions with life answers, you mess it up. If you try to answer life questions with spiritual answers, you mess it up. So let me back it all the way up. Some people need to pray. Some people need to balance a checkbook. But if you pray when you should balance the checkbook and you balance the checkbook when you should pray, you still get things off. Some people need to pray and fast, and some people need to diet and exercise. If you pray and fast when you should diet and exercise, you got things off. They are trying to do a spiritual thing or answer a man's life conditions from a spiritual perspective. And Jesus' answer shines light on the religious person who says, oh, you're just going through that because you ain't been to the house of God. The church, the religious people are blaming the world, saying we're going through this because God's judging the world. Oh, God. And I'm telling you that Jesus' response is, Master, who sinned? Was it, come here, was it homosexuality? Why God is letting us go through this? Was it the church? Was it politicians? Was it hatred? Jesus said neither. But that the glory of God might be revealed. Maybe God has allowed the whole world to see what's important. We took each other for granted. We were in crowded rooms with each other. And instead of interacting with you, we interacted with tempered glass. So instead of touching human beings, I'd rather touch my glass and look at the world. I said the other day, I wonder how many countries I missed, rushing to get on my phone to share it with you that I didn't experience it myself. I wonder how many moments I missed, rushing to interact with a interactive, fictitious world of social media and ignoring what's right in front of me. I pray now that God restores and forgives all the moments I missed, ignoring what's in front of me, looking into an imaginary world. Oh God, okay. I've been with you long enough. Come here. I've been with you long enough. I'm still in verse 3. Jesus says, neither. This happens so God can reveal himself in the life of every person. That I'm pulling them away. I'm creating social distance to create. I gotta say, this is not mine. My pastor said this. Pastor Mike McClure. He says that social distance should create spiritual closeness. Social distance should create spiritual closeness. And I'm saying maybe this is happening to create social distance so God can get us alone like he did Jacob. And he got him alone. God, the same way when Abraham, the Bible says, when Abraham was alone, when he got rid of Lot, God visited him. Maybe, just maybe. I ain't got all the answers, Sway, but maybe he's trying to get us alone to spend more time to the stuff that we couldn't slow down from. Hey, pump your brakes. Instead of making one person, he made the whole world sit down. Everybody sit down. Everybody get in the house and sit down. It's like when your mama say, every one of y'all, come get your butt in this house. That maybe God has called all of us back to himself. Neither, but that God may be revealed. I got to give you one more thing before I get out of here. I got to give you one more thing. Is this good to anybody? Let me ask you this. Who hasn't shared this yet? Who hasn't shared this? If you haven't shared this, like you're being selfish. Share this with somebody. Type in the comments. Tell me you're feeling this, but share this. Don't be stingy with this. Let somebody know. If you're watching live on the replay, somebody can benefit from this message. God, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Verse 3. Verse 3. Who said, the disciples asked a stupid question. I'm trying to see how does Jesus answer these stupid questions. Who sinned, this man or his mother and father, that he would be born blind? Verse 3 says to me, Jesus says, neither, but that the glory of God might be revealed. Now, Jesus is not saying the man is sinless or faultless, because only Jesus is sinless and faultless. What he is saying is, this is not the reason he's going through this. I'm not saying he's perfect, but sin is not the reason that he's going through this. I'm not saying you're perfect, but maybe sin is not the reason you're going through this. But that the glory of God might be revealed. Just maybe, it's not a spiritual issue as it is, it's an emotional intelligence issue. You haven't learned to process your emotions. Maybe you place what's happening in the wrong category. I love this. This is for now, here's what Jesus does next. I told y'all when he took his saliva. Now, y'all remember this nasty thing Jesus did. Let me pull it up. I want to read it word for word. I don't want to paraphrase. I want to read this word for word. We're in verse number 6 now. Verse number 6. Then he spit on the ground. Somebody write this. John chapter 9, verse 6, so y'all can track with me. Then he spit on the ground, made mud with the saliva, and spread the mud over the blind man's eyes. Oh, Jesus. I got 2 points I got to make. Jesus spit over the man. He spit into the mud, made it into saliva, put it over his face. God, let me say it calmly the way you said it to me. Jesus then in verse 7 tells him, somebody pay attention. Verse 6, he spits, make a mud pot, put it over the man's eyes, tells the man, go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam, which means sent. There is an analogy, a metaphor that people refer to something as having mud on your face, meaning you embarrass yourself. You got dirt on your face, mud on your face, you embarrass yourself. When they say, I'm trying to save face, that Jesus now puts mud on his face. I want to preach to somebody and tells the man to walk through the city to Siloam. Nobody knows that the man is walking out his next miracle in his next season of life. All they see is the embarrassment on his face. The mud on his face represents somebody who's gone through a season of embarrassment. That you got to walk through people looking embarrassed. That nobody but Jesus and the man knows that the man is in the process of walking out a miracle. Oh God, I'm talking to somebody who lost something, had something repossessed, went through a divorce, that you went through a season of having mud on your face, that the relationship ended, the thing didn't go right, the guy that you thought would be there forever, he embarrassed you. The woman you thought would be there forever, she embarrassed you. The church and the pastor who embarrassed you, and you walked through a season of mud on your face, but they didn't realize you was walking out your miracle. That I'm so glad that nobody knows that with every step the blind man took, all they see is mud and spit on the man's face, but they don't realize it's the process of my miracle. What is Epic doing? Like this Epic Church thing, how are you going to start this global thing that you touching people in living rooms around the world? You got Bible studies on Wednesday, a WhatsApp group with people sharing the word of God and studying together. How you going to merge faith and business together? That's embarrassing. How you start what's supposed to be this big thing? How many people on here right now? It's supposed to be thousands of people watching this online. Let's walk through the season of mud on our eyes where God puts his saliva, yes, God, on our face. I'm not embarrassed at all because I'm walking out my miracle. I'm walking out my miracle. It looks like nothing to you. It just looks like a man walking around with mud on his face. But to me, it's the process of my miracle. What you do with your little business? I'm walking it out with this little business with mud on my face. But this little business is the process to a big business. What you doing with that little bitty thing, that little bitty paycheck, that little bitty job? I'm walking out my miracle. I've got more than enough. Don't you dare confuse what you see now with what God is doing. Okay, all right. I know somebody should have been typing, I feel that. I feel that. Preaching here. Somebody should have said, I feel that. Okay. So to the person who's watching is like, man, this dude, he yelling, he's screaming, I ain't feeling this message. This is for you. This is the last part. Practical. All right, practical. Here's what happens now. Verse 7, Jesus sends a man through a season of embarrassment, walking with mud on his face. Yeah. But when the man is going to Siloam, a place called Sent. So I'm walking through an embarrassing season, but I'm going to my sent place, the place that God sent me. Go to Florida. Go here, go there, work there, be a part of that. You're going to the place God sent you, but walking through a season of embarrassment. Yeah. But when the man gets to the pool of Siloam and washes his face, he could see the saliva. It came from the mouth of God. That now the man's, here's why I titled this message, make it make sense. Yeah. Your senses controls how you view the world. The man sees nothing. He's born blind. We back to verse 1. We're doing a rewind so you can follow the message. I'm born unable to see my potential. I can't see God and I can't see me. Born blind, unable to see what the world is going to be for me. I'm unable to see how wealthy I'll be, how blessed I'll be, how happy I'll be. A man born blind. And people are asking, whose fault is it? And Jesus says, neither, but I'm just trying to show out. God is trying to make some of us a runway model of what favor looks like. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm sporting spring, summer, and fall, and due season collection. By verse 7 now, the man wipes off of his eyes and he sees through the perspective of the word that Jesus took. The same mouth that spoke Lazarus come forth is the same mouth that he took saliva to put on a man's eyes who's born blind. That I now see through the perspective of Christ. And he makes it make sense to me. That when I look back over my life, some of the moments in my life, I don't see it through the lens of pain. I see it through the lens of the word of God. That I see it through the mouth of God. That from the mouth of God, oh, come here. The mouth of God becomes my perspective. Let me make it make sense to you even further. Please pay attention. You don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. Your mind transposes something for you. Your eyes takes it in. Your brain transposes it. So when the man eyes are open, his perspective is open. The world looks different. He's not seeing with his eyes. He is now, remember how I started it? Redirecting his focus. I don't just see what's in front of me. I'm not just seeing these 30 days of being quarantined. You will always feel like a failure if you judge a month compared to a quarter. If you judge a quarter compared to a year. If you look at the last week of your life and compare it to a lifetime, you'll always feel like a failure. But when you could shift your perspective to not just see things close, oh, I'm bringing the whole message around. The little girl who had the eye exam, remember when you started in the beginning? Little girl, eye exam, nothing wrong with your eyes. You just spend so much time looking at things close that the muscle to see it fall. I'm saying to you that he's going to make it make sense, that you're going to have the ability to see what you're going through. But I'm not saying faith means ignore present circumstances, but it is powered by the fact that I've got something on the other side of this, that he's going to make it make sense that, God, why do I have to go through this? Why do I have to experience this pain? Why am I the only family member that my family love everybody else but overlook me? He's going to make it make sense. He's going to change the way you view all of it. And you're going to say what David said. It was good for me that I was afflicted. If I had not been afflicted, I wouldn't have understood his statutes. This is what David said. This is when God shifted his perspective. It was good for me that I was afflicted. I'm saying to you, and I'm done right here, that God's going to change your perspective. He's going to make it make sense. I want to minister to somebody who's struggling with, God, why is this going on? Why'd you let me have somebody who, let me say it this way, mother didn't cover, father didn't bother, right? I feel like an old Baptist preacher there, but somebody who went through something that, why did my father accept me? Why did my mother love me? Why did they break up with me? I want to talk to somebody who the reason why your heart was so broken is because you put yourself on sale. You gave all of yourself to somebody, and that person threw you away. So now you're looking and saying, who am I? You gave everything to the relationship, and when the relationship ended, you lost yourself. But I'm telling you, he's going to make it make sense. He's going to change the perspective of how you view the world and how you view yourself. He's going to make it make sense. He's going to minister to somebody. I feel like standing up. Let me talk to you. He's going to minister to somebody who's watching this right now and saying, man, listen to me. Bro, only thing I ever knew how to do was hustle. Hustle to survive, to make it make sense. But I'm saying to you, he's going to make it make sense. Every skill you develop, everything you had to be to survive will be the skills you'll use to thrive. Everything you had to figure out on your own, the friendships that didn't last, the things that didn't work. I pray over somebody that's listening. There's a reason why that relationship didn't happen. Why did you give everything to that girl, be engaged to her, and she just walked away and left you? And then you found yourself broken in an area of your life. God, I see it clearly. Broken in an area of your life that you've never been able to commit again based on what happened before. You got trust issues now, but he's going to make it make sense. Your trust issues end right now. Your trust issues are going to end right now. Father, I pray over anybody that's listening, that every issue that whatever they've been held up in, whatever moment of their life that they've been stuck, make it make sense to them now, Father. Heal them of broken expectation and broken heart. Moments of their life that they walk through seasons of embarrassment and it robbed them of confidence that they don't have now. You're struggling now to believe God because of things that's happened before. And I pray over you now that God changes every part of that and he makes it make sense. I got to offer now to anybody who's listening to this and say, man, I want to give God my life. I want to live for him. I want you to do one favor. I want you to type right now, me, Chris. I need somebody who's a partner of Epic will connect you right away. Just type the word me. You can slide in the DMs, yes, of our Facebook and type the word salvation. Type the word salvation, and immediately someone will reach out to you. We will call you today to pray the prayer of salvation with you and lead you to give your life. Now, when you say, some of you who say, I believe in God, that don't mean you're saved. That don't mean you're saved. I can believe in UFOs. I can believe in airplanes, but until I experience it and live for it, until it alters my behavior and becomes what I live out, your schedule tells you what you believe. What is a day like? Can you go a day without praying, talking to him? Think of it like a relationship. Even if you tell somebody that you're their boyfriend or girlfriend, but you live as if you're single, you're not in the relationship. If you're saying that you're connected to God, but living as if you're not connected to him, I'm talking to you. Now is the time. Somebody just type me. It's time to come back. He's going to make it make sense. He's going to make it make sense. Here's what I need you to do. There's another group of people in here. And just for the sake of time, Father, I thank you for those who have given their life to you. I thank you now. Somebody, you feel it tugging on your heart. You're too embarrassed to do it. Just shoot us a message. We just want to make sure that the relationship's right. Our primary goal is to bring people to Christ. I'm going to also ask you, if this message spoke to your heart, I told you last week, what did Jesus do when it wasn't enough? It is only that giving is the engine of heaven's resources being released to you. I'm going to ask you to give to the Epic Nation. $. You can send via Cash App. $. The Epic Nation. THE Epic Nation. We can drop that in the comments right now. Ways to give. $. The Epic Nation. You can also text. You can go to the website. You can go to the website if you want to do that. You can go through Tidely. You can text to give. We're going to drop the number. We're going to drop the number so you'll be able to see it. Right now, we're dropping a number where you can text the word give to the number. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But we're going to drop that number in the comments. There it is. There it is. You can text that number, the word give. But for many of you, Cash App is easier for you. So just use Cash App. Just use Cash App. $, the Epic Nation. When you give a gift, I want you now to place a demand on it. If you know that God, I don't know what this is, but I felt what he was talking about. If you know that this ministry is serving you and this is something you want to be a part of, I thank you for your gift. But everything, even if $1 billion turns to zero if nobody contributes to it, God has given us a lot. He's blessed us, but even $1 billion goes to zero if we are receiving from something that we don't contribute to. You will get out of life what you give to it. So you will get out of a ministry what you give to it. I've said enough. I'm not in the business of begging, but let's be generous. Let's be generous. Everyone who can, I'm going to ask you to sow. I'm going to ask you to give whatever amount you choose. If you don't have a church home, let today be the first day you give tithe. For those who've been partners for Epic for a while and you say, man, I've never given tithe. Let this be the first time that you look and say, I got 99 problems and a paycheck ain't one. Some people are out of work. I get it. But some of you are not. And I'm going to ask you today, as your pastor, make that right. I can't tell you when we're talking about put things in order. Is the money in order? Is your faith in order? Is your life in order? Is the resources? God, you cannot ask him to intervene where you have not partnered with him. So this is the day to partner in giving. We will be a giving church. As many of you know, we are partnering with a hospital here in Hollywood, Florida. And we're buying snacks. We're buying food. We're also paying. Thank you for those who are financial partners. We're paying for custom masks to be built to give to healthcare workers. So thank you for your giving. It allows us to do that. I'm going to let you all go. I love you to life. I'm going to celebrate you while you're here. Let me pray over your gifts. Father, I thank you for every person that has given. I thank you for every seed that has been sown. I bless them from the top of their head to the soles of their feet. They will never go without because of what you have done. I believe it. I decree it, and it is so. We are Epic. Empower, purpose, inspire, change. I can't wait. Wednesday night, our interactive Bible study. I'm going to send it to Christian, and she's going to tell you how to stay plugged in and how you continue to be connected with the Epic Nation. I'll talk to you soon, friends.
So you've watched today's broadcast and you want to accept God into your life. Just pray this prayer along with me. Lord Jesus, for too long I've kept you out of my life. I know that I am a sinner and that I cannot save myself. By faith, I gratefully received your gift of salvation. I am ready to trust you as my Lord. I believe you are the Son of God who died on the cross for my sins and rose from the dead on the third day. Thank you for bearing my sins. Come into my heart today. Be Lord of my life. I receive heaven's best. If you prayed this prayer with us, I want you to go into the DMs right now and type the word salvation. Someone will reach back out to you to welcome you into the family of God and into the Epic Nation family. If you want to be abreast of everything that's happening in our Epic Nation family, we want you to go into the DMs and type the word Epic. We would make sure that you have all the information about what's going on in the Epic Nation. And if you want to partner with us, please make sure you type the word partner in our DMs and we will connect with you. We thank you so much for being a part of the family. Make sure you guys go out, give $, the Epic Nation, right? I'm forgetting what it is. $, the Epic Nation on Cash App, and we would see you guys on Wednesday. We're so glad you joined us today, and we're sending you guys some major virtual hugs. See you on Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Epic Hangouts. Take care, guys. Bye bye.